okay, I'm doing my autism peer support to nobody, but it's fine. It's more of a practice run at the moment until I decide how this works, and then try things out. That might be a better way to approach it in terms of I don't know, just like building. I don't like this audience thing. I mean, yeah, there's an audience, but like just like sharing this in the right places in a way that is clear. I need to think if that's possible, which maybe I don't, it might not be, which is okay. I'm going to the Barry. I'm going to the ballet. Very excited about that. That part is great. I'm going to the ballet today. Kyle, hi. Commuting? Okay. Thank you for letting me know I'm listening. I will tell you. I had to process something from the other day, and I think I've gotten to a good place with processing it. Right. Yep. Yeah. I think I've hit a point where I'm like, I think I disagree with elements of a standard model or a standardized model that has authority beyond what I'll ever have. Well, what I'll have for I certainly haven't earned that authority, right? And that seems perfectly reasonable to me. But I think I have other authorities that I'm looking at. I'm looking at you, Mr. Rogers, that I'm like, hey, I would rather study that approach. Hi, Dad. You looking for something? Oh, the heat. Got it. Makes sense. Anywho.
Did you turn this down?
Nope.
Huh?
No, but the door was open more yesterday. So it's probably.
I know, but I was just saying, I know it was open, but why didn't this react?
It did react, but it turned off already. It reacted a little while ago.
I didn't feel it. Hear it.
I was earlier in the morning. I think you weren't quite up yet. Do you want this up higher? It's set to like 76, but it's 75, but I'm putting it up to 77. See if that helps. But it was on earlier. It was on this morning when I was up before you. Okay. Hello. All right. I'm a little, well, I'm sick, but like it's in my nose now. I was a little concerned about it, but I think it's fine. I think we're okay. Also, what is going on with these settings? I don't know. Oh, I know. I need to plug this in. I sort of think this resets things on this gets unplugged. I don't know though. Anyways, yeah, I really like Mr. Rogers. I think Mr. Rogers has so many insights that are not carried forward into the era that I'm living through in ways that like it really needs to be. So I'll think about it and keep, I don't know what I'm doing. Just like processing. I'm just processing, how did I get here? Like, how am I in this situation in the first place? I'm like, I don't really know. But since I find myself here, what do I do? Okay, I have to reset that probably. Okay, I definitely do. Boop. Yes, it's working. Oh my god. My parents. Sometimes I think I'm just like, I'm a little anxious, but I don't fully know where that is coming from completely. Just a general sense of like, uh-oh, I might have to confront somebody, or, well, I might have to say something that will get considered confrontation, and like, what is the actual definition of confront? Meet someone face to face with hostile. Ooh, wow. No. I'm not hostile or argumentative. Maybe I might have an argument, but that's not being argumentative. Because that gets implications of like bickering or polemics or something, and that's not what I want. Or being combative or aggressive or pugnacious. Oh, that doesn't sound good. And then the it's so funny because with all of the similar things, with all the shadings that we have in our language that we typically use, like contentious, litigious. Wow, that's not great. Given to expressing divergent or opposite views. So that means an argumentative child. Given to expressing, that means there's a tendency when it's describing as an adjective. Oh boy. Using or characterized by systematic reasoning, the highest standard of argumentative rigor, which is totally not the common vernacular use of it. That's more specified to jargon. The heat went on earlier. It'll probably go on again. Dad just missed it.
What?
The heat went on earlier. Dad probably just missed it. I heard it go on. So I just turned it up a little bit to see if it'll respond. I think it's just going to take a little while for it to catch up. I think it's fine. I think Dad he just didn't hear it when it went on earlier. Probably going to go on again in a few minutes or something. So I think he's overreacting. Or I guess not overreacting. I think he's reacting to like incomplete data. I heard it go on earlier and it was on for a while. Compel someone to face or consider something, especially by way of accusation. I don't like that. Appear or be placed in front of someone so as to unsettle or threaten. See, this is the problem with confrontation. I don't want to unsettle or threaten people. That's not, and not only do I not want to, but I'm definitely not doing something with that as the goal. That's manipulation. I'm not oh, this sucks. Confront, face up to and deal with a problem or difficult situation. Address, get to grips with, take care of. That's interesting. Handle, manage. Manage is a really good one. Feelings are mentionable and manageable. But then, oh man, I just hate when people I'm concerned about these like subtextual things being put onto me. Oh, it's just so frustrating. Okay, all right, thanks for listening. It's just a concern through experience, like I'm like, oh man, people really can, like, okay, it all kind of comes back together to the thing that I was originally concerned about. So if you get in the habit of people telling you what they're thinking, but for social conventions, they're not supposed to be honest about what they're thinking. The problem with that is their behavior is still being constructed by what they're actually thinking, plus this extra layer of them having to say something for social convention. That's also in there. So at the very least, you should say, here's what I'm actually thinking, here's what I'm going to have to say for social convention. And now you kind viewer, listener, calculate, a model about me based on my behavior and the insights and the self-insights that I presented to you, which may be completely unreliable, which you could also model about this person, right? Like, we cluster and we make patterns. I think it is working. It was working earlier today. I think you might be...
Yeah, it should be on now.
Do you want me to ratchet it way the fuck up? Because it probably will go on.
What?
I can turn it way up and it'll probably go on.
You've already turned it to 75 and it's not going on.
Yeah, but it was already at I turned it to 76 or 7 and it was already at 75. I didn't touch it until just now.
No, what was it, 75?
That's what it was before a few seconds ago. I just did that.
Now, the thermostat is reading 60.
I know that, but it already was on earlier today. I don't think... It's probably got a timer where it's not supposed to just be on the whole time.
Jane, if there's something wrong,
Oh my God. I don't think there is. Oh, good grief. Okay. I think they're jumping to conclusions. Anyways, which I've just expressed, right? And that by me saying this is what I think is going on, then they can like disagree and calculate and understand my behavior. Like I'm a little frustrated because I'm like, I think they're making now. Anyways, point being, okay, what was I saying? Constructing me. Oh my gosh, there is. You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna turn it all the way up to 90. There. Time to make the heat turn on. Ugh. Okay, sorry. I think she's wrong. Maybe I'm wrong though. Let's find out. The only way to know is to try something new, you know? Anyways, so point being, I'm super frustrated. So if people don't understand my behavior and I'm giving them insights that are inaccurate, that's just so much to calculate. Like, why is she giving the inaccurate information? Why didn't she tell us that, telling us that it's inaccurate? Why so many layers? What does that do for people? I don't understand. And then I had a point to this, which I've totally lost. So it's fine for now. Yeah, see, and now they're getting frustrated. I don't know if that's true, Mom. I don't think that's true. We have a cold snap outside. Oh, that looks great.
You have what outside?
A cold snap.
So?
No, I'm saying I think Mom's jumping to conclusions. Because it feels extra cold right now, but I don't think that's because the heat has stopped working completely. Oh my gosh. Oh boy. You know what though? If feelings are mentionable, they're manageable. I can manage these feelings, even though I am not being modeled a good way of managing feelings. I don't think. I'm gonna watch the thing that Mr. Rogers said. Also, I'm gonna try to fix this. Hold on a second. I'm having a time. You know what? I'm having a weird morning, but I'm also learning a lot. Here's the positive side, and this is not BS. Like, so here's the positive side of this morning. I am definitely. Oh, my dad just tripped. Dang it. See, now they're rushing. Okay. Now he has pain. Oh boy. I don't know why my mom does that. There's some like purpose to it that I don't quite get. Oh well. Maybe it is broken. I don't know. I don't know why. We've been having problems at the house. Okay, enough of that. So how do I manage this? This is all an opportunity for learning. A couple things I've been doing is like deeper breaths. That's generally helpful. Another thing I've been thinking about is just like how good it feels. It is such a good feeling to acknowledge where you're at and to not think that like it's a crisis or an emergency, to just be human, to just have human things happen and to not always know what to do with them. Especially when I have criticisms, serious criticisms of the models that I've been learning. I did have something circular where I was going to like pop back around to that idea that like if we were modeling how to deal with emotions, more effectively, then this whole thing would be less distressing. Because my concern is that I'm working with a person where I'd have to like teach them from scratch, and they've already indicated to me teach them from scratch. My method, right? That I really believe in, honestly, but I don't think they would get considered at all, and I don't have the credentials to be taken seriously. So the only thing that leaves me with strategically is being like, I'm a magical autistic. Like maybe I know something because I'm magically autistic, and like that's not good at all. That's not sufficient. That's not gonna work. Like I don't even believe that's true. So that feels, it's not manipulative, but it's like I don't really have a lot of options here to be like, this is why listen to me. I'm like, okay, I guess there's no reason to listen to me. And the last thing I want people to do is listen to me to be patronizing, to be like, I think you need this. I'm like, no, I need someone to actually listen to me. Like, I don't need the pretense of someone listening to me. I'm not stupid. I'm weird. There's a difference. All right. So yeah, I'm having a morning of processing going on that is like kind of in weird stages. But I am gonna get to see Giselle today. I'm going out to my brother, and my brother's partner is gonna come along, which is really nice. So that's exciting. And then it's one of my like top tier like bucket list people that I've wanted to see perform just joined San Francisco Ballet as a principal dancer. And she's doing basically one of my absolute favorite roles ever of any ballet. Like maybe my most favorite role of any ballet. Which is very exciting. Hang on, let me grab something really quickly. So that's exciting. Mirtha, the Queen of the Willies, is like, yeah, amazing. And yes, I'm very, I had no idea that she joined SFB I was like, I'm gonna have to go to Sweden and see this person dance one day, but she just joined SFB as a principal. I'm like, what? So she also got promoted, because I believe she was like a soloist in the last company. And this is just somebody I've like followed on Instagram and I'm aware of, because, you know, like Dance Magazine will cover, you know, incredible dancers, and this person is just like, so cool. Such a cool dancer. So I'm gonna go see that today, and I'm super excited. Very bucket list thing. Like literally I've said it's a bucket list thing. So that's something that I'm really happy about. I have that to look forward to, and I have a chance now to process how I feel about, you know what, here, let's watch Mr. Rogers. Hold on. Actually, let me do this over here so it's a little bit neater. I realize there's like neater ways to get the YouTube set up. Kitty cuddles. Kitty cuddles are nice. I get it. It's understandable. I've just been doing like deep breathing. Oh wait, I have to pause the music. Okay. Theater mode. Okay, that'll be just fine. I need to listen to this again. Beep, 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 beep.
The truth is inside of us.
Right.
And it's wonderful when we have the courage to tell it. What if I were very, very sad and all I did was smile? I wonder after a while what might become of my sadness. What if I were very, very angry and all I did was sit and never think about it? What might become of my anger? Where would they go and what would they do if I couldn't let them out? Maybe I'd fall, maybe get sick or doubt. But what if I could know the truth and say just how I feel? I think I'd learn a lot that's real about freedom. I'm learning to sing a sad song when I'm sad. I'm learning to say I'm angry when I'm very mad. I'm learning to shout, I'm getting it out, I'm happy, learning exactly how I feel inside of me. I'm learning to know the truth. I'm learning to tell the truth.
Tell the truth, right?
Discovering truth will make me free. Are you discovering the truth about you?
Yes.
Well, I'm still discovering the truth about me.
Thank you, Mr. Rogers.
That's what we do as we keep on growing in life.
Goof. Oof, ugh, ugh. Great. Okay. Thank you. Alrighty, let's put this over here, and this over there, and so it goes here, and it's over there. I am feeling misunderstood. I am feeling outnumbered. That's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling outnumbered. And I feel like if I push any further, I'm going to get told I'm stupid. Or that I don't, not only that I'm stupid, but it's like, who do you think you are? Right? And I'm like, well, I don't fit into society. So I don't really want to make any excuses for that. Right? Where it's like, I'm so used to people responding to me in certain patterns. Now, again, my therapist would probably advise me that, like, okay, these are not those people, that is not this time, right? However, I also know I know the contradictions that I am as a person, and I don't know how to fix them. Like, I don't know how to resolve them. It's like, do I get a degree? But in what? Because the problem is, if I were to go that route, right? Like, first of all, it would juggle a lot of things around. And that's maybe not the worst thing ever. Maybe that's a good challenge, right? Maybe I can figure that out, and I need to know I can figure it out. Okay, great. It's expensive. That's a big problem. That's a huge problem, how expensive it is. And then the other thing that comes up with all of this is, like, I really want to pick, if I'm going to do that, the best fit for me. Because I'm so freaking particular. I'm such a weird widget to put into a machine. I know I'm a weird widget to put into a machine. So then it's like, why haven't you gone through this machine or that machine? Because I'm like, it's really hard to get me in. It's super challenging. And I don't, maybe what the issue is, I don't give myself enough, probably the issue, like, I'm reflecting on what Vogel has sort of expressed. Probably a good chunk of the issue is I don't give myself enough credit that I can figure it out, that even if I'm put into a situation where the widget isn't widgeting or whatever I'm supposed to be doing, that I can still, like, find a compromise and a way to make it work, and that I can build on insights. I'm not going to be stuck, you know. But also, it's so exhausting to feel like I have to rebuild things around me so that I can participate. Like, that sucks. Being like,
Well, at least we have electricity.
oh God, no, Mom. At least she's found the brown spray side. I'm gonna turn that heat down. Maybe it is broken. She might be right. Maybe my mom was right, but I think my mom should take more deep breaths. Okay, I think I should take more deep breaths. I like my mom, I like my dad. They're cool people. I was tired, so I interpreted that with a little bit more edge to me. So okay, so where was I? What was I saying? Oh gosh, it was important. Oh yeah, exhausting. Widget. So I feel like I'm a widget, right? And then I need a converter. I need a widget converter. I'm like, hi. I would like to plug in here. I really would, but I can't stop being a widget. So we need some sort of, like, you know, an adapter, basically. I need an adapter to stick on my widget so that I can go into the widget machine, right? And then it's like, okay, there's not a lot of options for adapters. I'm like, that doesn't fit, that kind of fits. I think I'm electrocuting things. Like, it's just like it's like, like, so I don't know. And then maybe that metaphor is not accurate enough, but then, okay, how about this? If that metaphor isn't accurate enough, I still think it is. I still have the perception it is, right? That is honestly my perception of the situation. even as a starting point, acknowledging that there's distortions, right? Isn't it fair for me to say, this is what I've come to use as a metaphor to understand my experience and my situation and why I'm having trouble, amongst other reasons that I'd like to work on more directly. But this is an external reason that I can't seem to fix. And the internal stuff that I'm trying to, with this peer support model, develop better tools for just me to work with and just autistic people who have overlap to work with, right? So to basically take care of my side of the fence, my yard. So I don't have a lawnmower that works currently, right? Let alone going out into the world and doing all these other things. So even just the fact that like this is how I'm experiencing it, and that I'm trying to talk about it with like really extensive amounts of humility, as if maybe I just have a distortion and that's all I have to go on. But then that contradicts this idea that I'm intelligent, doesn't it? So this is the contradiction that I keep ending up with, is like, okay, I have this somewhat novel way of perceiving it. I realize it's novel, right? I realize it's somewhat novel. And then sometimes people try to translate my somewhat novel thing into something that's already been developed. I'm like, no, that's not what I said. Why are you taking away my invention? Why are you making me less brilliant? Why? At least, or if not brilliant, like stupid. Let me ascend or fall on the merit of my own invention. Don't tell me my invention is something else that already exists, or else I wouldn't have made it. I wouldn't. It's and these inventions I'm talking about are basically thought technologies, right? They're conceptual technologies and models that I'm using. Okay. Thank you. Thanks for listening, Kyle. You're great. Have a wonderful day. I hope you have fun, and also outside of having fun, just have a lot of moments of clarity and processing that bring you towards a goal that feels authentic to you and comes from this deep sense of who you are. You're a wonderful person, and your sense of who you are is also wonderful. So like just believe in yourself. That's all. Okay, so I got dressed. I took a shower. And like I didn't really conclude that thought very well. I think maybe I'm going to let me give it another shot at it. So basically, here's where I'm at. I'm coming up with thought technologies, right? I am insisting they are different because they are. Okay. Now, I realize I'm up against people whose thought technologies have these really, really pristine lineages, right? Which most people, here's what's frustrating. These thought technologies have these pristine lineages in ivory tower academia, right? But even the accolades, the people that are using them, can't explain it from that pristine logic and structuring and argument that came out of academia. So they also, when I ask people, they summarize it wrong because I can go back and get the right summary. So I'm like, okay, so I'm not saying that. I'm definitely not saying that. You're not even saying it. And the reason why I don't get taken as seriously is because I didn't come out of that lineage. Okay, well then how does this make any sense? Like, you don't seem to have other people I talk to who use these other models from academia about how to work with human behavior. Okay, they got them, and I'm not being told the lineage, right? And then sometimes when I break it down and I ask for the lineage, it's not there. So I'm like, I don't believe you have a deep understanding of this. I don't believe you've been convinced by it. Right? I don't believe you had competing theories and this is the one that you signed off on. I believe you were trained in this and you just went along with it. That's what I believe. And if I'm wrong, then so be it. I can take a loss. I can take an L. Then I'll just have to process it. If I'm wrong, I have to trust that I can process it, right? And if I sound like this as an autistic person processing, I just sound like this as an autistic person processing. It helps me to process. I don't really know why, but I'm not angry at people. I don't process like this to make people feel any type of way. I don't want people to feel one way or the other. I'm not being like this to manipulate people. I'm not being like this to try to impact people or make people feel bad or good. If people have a response, I want to be considerate of that, but I also, in general, am just processing for myself. Now, I think that could be worked on, but also this idea that I should sit when I feel mad. Like, where's it gonna go? This is how my body understands these different processes in my mind. And it's like, it's so hard. Maybe this is why dance was so fascinating. I'm very excited to see Giselle, but maybe dance was fascinating because they let you say so much. In dance, you get to show that you have, you feel things deeply, for example, but you have, this is something I borrowed from something I saw at the school that I'll be teaching at. There's a little room we're using, a recording studio, that is a book that says it's okay to feel things deeply. I believe that's the title of the book. I wanted to look at it a little bit more. It's a little cute, sort of picture meditation book. Okay, with short phrases and stuff, mantra-y type things. Seems to be what it is. I kind of want to look through it. Okay, so, but I would actually, let me rephrase that in my model. I'm trying to show that how I manage the experience of being a human, regardless of how people interpret it, has to be an honest attempt. And it is. This is my honest attempt. And it does seem to sort of get me somewhere. So if somebody says, like, here's a competing model for how to do this, right? Great. Because I can understand that. I can understand somebody offering me a competing model of how to work through and process emotions. Okay. But like, what I don't get is when I don't hear the competing model, right? And my model also doesn't seem to be heard or understood. And again, that would go back to why, because it's not coming from this pristine background. I can't explain all of it. I do have a sense of pattern matching, and then I'm back to magical autistic. Then I'm back to you're a savant who can see patterns for no reason, even though you're a dum-dum, right? Or even though you don't have any right to see them because you didn't go through pristine academia. Pristine ivory tower, perfect, which I don't think is perfect anyway. And then like, and all of this argument is supposed to be too abstract or something. I don't know. I mean, I just constantly am prepared for criticism, right? Because I expect to be misunderstood. I expect to be not even disregarded, but I expect when I'm speaking that the first thing people will do is to explain the contradiction of what I've accomplished in my life and what I am doing, what I'm saying, the words that are coming to my mouth, the things that I believe. I have no right to believe that I know anything is sort of what I'm at. Or that my knowledge is just inferior. And to an extent that makes sense. It's not, there's a committee of like peers and stuff, and like, yeah, I mean, I guess that works. But what if the model's wrong? But what if the model's wrong? What are you gonna do then? It's been wrong before. How did we get it right this time? Why would it be, why? Yes, we have an iterative process getting us there, but here's the problem of being autistic. I'm an outlier of that iterative process explaining people and their behavior. I don't make sense under that model. So either my autism is actually not what I think it is, and I'm just straight up delusional. Like, my autism actually makes me incapable of logic, or breaks my logic somehow. Or it is possible that the dominant model is wrong. Fundamentally wrong. Of how human behavior, individually and in groups, in relation to how you think about yourself and in relation to how you think about others, how you think about, how you model, the metaphors that you select to try to understand your own behavior, and the models that you select to try to understand others' behavior. And by understand, I mean to have some sense of how the laws of the universe that you live in are being demonstrated by the cause and effect, the very complex cause and effect relationships that this entity is, not even is a representation of, is. That is the explanation for the behavior. Not that you can fully understand it, but if you're going to offer me an explanation at all, it better match reality. Because if you get that wrong, if you follow a model that doesn't match reality and it diverges enough, you're going to cause harm. You're going to tell people to do things that are impossible. And when they fail, do you know who you'll blame? Them. That's who will get blamed because you said the model is correct. So then it's got to be their fault. That's the freaking problem that I have with this. And the issue with being autistic is like, I see how that goes back to multiple systems. I see how that thinking process, because human brains, in my opinion, will try to make the logic agree. So if you give them a model that's going to explain a lot of behavior, they're going to apply it to, adjacent concepts. They're going to be like, well, this is similar, so it probably works similar. So you better have a darn good reason for suggesting that that's how things work. That's how physics work. It's literally physics. Human behavior is physics. Human behavior is physics. It's physics at a level that the human brain will never be able to actually compute. So we need these goofy metaphors as a stand-in so that we can actually have chemistry happen successfully. Otherwise, shit blows up. Oh, okay. There's my rant for the day, or whatever. It's not a rant. I call it a rant because I'm socialized in a way that's what I was told to say. I'll say sorry with. Oh, I apologize. I'm ranting. Ugh. I apologize. I'm ranting. I know that the way that my emotions just came out, quote unquote emotions, the way that my body is moving is wrong. So sorry for the rant. Oh. I'm fine. Okay. I'm fine. Or, well, am I? I don't know. I'll be fine. This is acceptable. Probably this is fine. I'm learning. That's what I'm doing. I'm trying to learn about myself. I know that I'm autistic. I know that this is what autism looks like expressed. Also, thank you for the BRB. I'm kind of talking to myself, and it just doesn't matter. I'm processing. If I wasn't streaming, I would just literally be talking to myself, because that is not crazy. Because, well, maybe, I don't know. Well, look, part of your brain processes things auditorily. Part of your brain processes things in reading. Part of your brain processes things thinking them in your own head. Right? They are different regions of your brain. I want to fully process this. And also, one of the things that I maxed out, that I OP'd, that I put all my stat points into, is the language thing. So me getting to hear and orchestrate a sentence helps me. Now the blah 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 blah, I don't know what that is. Like, it just, like, I don't know why. So I have guesses, but I don't have a working theory as to why. And then like sort of like the quiet hands thing. I feel like the response to that, if I was more obviously autistic at a younger age, would be like, oh, Jay needs quiet hands. I'm like, I don't think I do. Why? And it's like the whole thing of like, it makes other people uncomfortable. I do want to respect that, though. That's the tricky part. It's like, I obviously don't want to make people uncomfortable. That's a huge fear of mine. Because they won't tell me. That's the other thing. It's like, if I do make people uncomfortable, they don't want me to be uncomfortable. That I'm worried that I'm making them uncomfortable. So then it's all bull poop. Like, is it okay is it okay to be uncomfortable? Question mark. I need to know the answer to that at this point, because I'm uncomfortable a lot. And if it's not okay, then I'm not okay. Then there's fundamentally something not okay about me, because I have to experience a lot of discomfort in my life. And I think a lot of people do, but like, being uncomfortable about being uncomfortable seems to be like, why that layer? How is that supposed to motivate me? How does that work? So I'm uncomfortable, and then if I just don't get it. But that's what gets implied by what I seem to be interfacing with. But then if I ask more questions about it, it could look confrontational, which would make people uncomfortable, and then I'm more uncomfortable about making people uncomfortable, which is uncomfortable. Like, how do you get out of this trap? How? And then like, how does it work? I don't understand. I have to think about this. I'll even listen to it again so that I can process it auditorily another time, another go, right? Instead of doing it in real time, I can do it then after the fact, as if I'm a listener instead of myself, sort of, kind of. It doesn't really quite work like that. But, more processing ways. I need more ways to process the information so that I can understand, because my brain won't stop. It will not stop processing this information. I don't think it's a problem. I think it's like, maybe it's not managed as well as it could be, but I do think this is who I am. It's not going away. It's just, this is how I am. You can't, first of all, I don't think it ever could have been fixed. This is the I am not a duck thing. I don't think that my processing could ever not be like this. And also to imply that it could be, I'm like, well, I've met other autistic people with very similar expressions of autism, different lives, different origin stories, different careers, but the base, facts of like, female around the same age, the end, like around the same presentation in terms of like aptitudes and impairments and stuff, around the same. We turn out remarkably the same, remarkably similar, okay, in ways that we think. So I don't think I'm thinking wrong. I don't think you can fix this. And that's sort of the wall that I'm coming up against as I'm trying to understand my position as an autistic adult in society, but also to get to work on these minutia, like these details of how I think, without false premises just smacked onto me, like from like self-help or even psychology. Like, I think things can be, how do I put this carefully? I think specificity can look like simplicity. But it's sophisticated. If it's specific and sophisticated, then it can deal with tremendous complexity, right? So if the way that you're modeling something or looking at something, processing something, has a clarity to it. Yay, coffee. Yay, good job. Woohoo. Yeah, so if the way that the method that you're using has a clarity to it, it doesn't it's eliminated things in a way that is helpful for clarifying what is there as opposed to what isn't. So all models are exclusionary, right? All models say this is the thing, this is not the thing, right? Like in the simplest fact, like I am holding a chapstick, right? What is the chapstick? Well, if I really, really think about it, is it the plastic tube or is it the substance on the inside? Could the substance on the inside be held in something other than a tube? Sure. Why is the tube a good idea? Oh, it has a little twisty thing. That's nice. What if the twisty thing doesn't work on the way down? Which it doesn't. Do I have to press it with my lip to close it? I might want to do that. I might want to consider that. So in this container, right, what is the chapstick? What isn't? Okay, what do I value about this chapstick? Is it the plastic container? No, it's this stuff in the inside, right? So when I'm thinking about the chapstick, this is the part of it I've clarified, I've excluded, that I want to maintain and be able to use. Okay, so if I squinch it all the way up, get a nice chapstick on, and then I do the roll down and then cap it, but sometimes this thing gets loose, well, maybe sometimes I should roll it down like that. And now this plastic container, which isn't what I'm valuing the substance inside, I've excluded that from what I'm trying to get out of this, what I'm trying to use, what's useful, right? I've figured out that, and I know that if I don't make sure this presses down, I'm going to press this cap down and it's going to squish the part that's good, and it's going to make it messy and icky, and it's going to make it less useful. Okay, so I've just done a whole process of like excluding it, and now I have a simple solution, right? My solution now is, oh yeah, okay, I know chapsticks are prone to do this. I know that I can teach myself habits. Okay, do, yeah, do. Oh, it's flat. Okay, great. How hard is that? And that just took a little extra time to think about it, and I can choose to commit to this for the rest of the time that I use chapsticks until I die, right? Push on it, it's all the way in. I never have that problem again. Because I took it apart, and now I follow a protocol that agrees with the physical substances and what does what and why. So some people could see that as a waste of time. Well, I'm never going to waste chapstick again in my life. I just solved that problem right in front of you. I may have done this by accident a few times. I think I have. That's why I was like, what's a solution? But now I can purposely do that with chapstick for the rest of my life. I'll never have a smashed chapstick again. At least there's that. At least there's that. And that's simple. Do you see? So that, why is that simple? This is every single thing that is in a chapstick container that works like this. Could do this like lip balm probably, you know. Every single one, if that's how I close it from now on, I will never waste anything in this sort of a device ever again. It transfers. We need to get notifications back up, so we need Mi 6 Premium in order to do it. There might be other bots that do it for free, but we'd have to pare down the bots we have. Okay, we can do that. Okay, let's that sounds, thank you for looking that up. That sounds reasonable to me. I'm gonna do my timesheet thing. Oh, blah blah blah. Also, interesting thing, I was in a meeting the other day, and they mentioned something about that they're changing something on my timesheet, and they're like, oh, there's something I wanted to bring up about your timesheet. I was like, what did I do? Or like, oh, you didn't do anything. Like, you didn't do anything wrong, or you didn't do it. I was like, I just, my response is like, what did I do? Like, because I don't know. I'm asking because I usually do something wrong and don't know, or do something wrong and don't know. So my response is just to be like, let's get this out of the way. It's so that I can cut through hedging language. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to be like, I probably did something. What did I do? Yeah, and I just want to like, I get really squeamish about people trying to like let me down easy or something. So if I have any sense that we're about to enter into that phase of a conversation, I'm like, oh no, please skip that. Just tell me what I did wrong. A checking meeting sort of deal. Oh, do I? Maybe. Yes. Like for like 30 minutes? Could we do that? Like from like 9:30 to 10? And actually for efficiency's sake, can we try, and I don't know if this will work, can you make a note of all the things we need to hit? And it doesn't have to be long, but just in case there's something that like we've already talked about that I'm already blanking on. Oh yeah, no, that's great. Let's just do that. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, let's fix that. Let's fix that immediately. That gets me going too, because I have to look at this. I have to do something with just depositing checks, and I haven't done it for like 5 days. I even got a new check since then. You're like, this doesn't make sense, Jane. Why does your brain work like that? Isn't it autism, everyone? I don't know. So like, it'll get me to do that too. Okay, 9:30 to 10. Perfect. Autism! Hello. Would you like to learn about autism? Great. Because I don't have a choice. It would be very not a great idea for me not to try to learn about it. Even though sometimes I hit a wall of like, I just don't know. I don't know why. I don't know. It just did that. Anyways. Time to sim with songs that don't exist. Boopity. I was listening to music at one point, but then I stopped, and I don't think I need it right now. Like, I only got a couple more minutes, and I gotta get through some stuff, and I feel like the music is gonna make me melt out too much. I want to be a little bit like, Giddy up, horsey. Okay, so what? Oh my gosh, I just remembered something that I didn't do. Okay, we're gonna add that to it. We're gonna add that. We're gonna add that. We're just gonna put some. We're gonna put some puzzle planner chips in here, and we're just gonna add that to it, and it's gonna be on there, and it'll be fine, and whatever. Oh my god. Okay. Ooh, I also have one last. Yeah, I got this. So yeah, autism is a thing, and I experience it in a way. You see, that is not. It's okay. I don't think my actual experience of autism is frustrating. Hear me out. I didn't do it, and only when I have laid down to sleep at night. Mine doesn't do that, which is fine, I guess. I think I got, you know why I think so? That's when I'm so in the habit of being like, let's think about all of the beautiful things in my mind. I get two options. I either think about, am I on the right planet? Should I be here? Or I get to be like, let's imagine a whole movie in an alternate dimension. Wee! And I usually opt for the other one if I possibly can, because option B sucks. Option B is just like, is tired feeling like wanting to leave the planet? Is that what tired means? It's like, oh gosh, brain, no. For the last time. And then the next night, is tired! Ugh. Anyways, my brain is a Muppet in some ways, and that's fine, but like, come on. Okay, I have to have a sense of humor about all this. You know what, let's let's loop back into like having a sense of humor. Great. What else am I supposed to do with this? Genuinely, what, how? Like, I have to be like, I'm hilarious, this is ridiculous, I am a silly person, this is super silly McGee, and that's okay. I don't know why I'm a silly person. And even being a silly person, there's not much you can do with it. You just gotta live with it. You gotta roll with it. I have like half a dozen. Well, I have like half a dozen options. One of them is also Crazy Weird Movie in my head, but that's the least frequent one, and the majority of the others are not ideal. I would pick the Crazy Weird Movie, honestly. I can't argue for it enough yet to like basically like try to persuade you to it, which might be what I need to be doing. I'll think about it. I mean, I heard it's kind of the CBT thing of like, you're more analytical in the morning and more creative at night, sort of a thing, and then you use that to think like, to justify making creative wonderlands at night because you'll be better at it then. So for the sake of efficiency, like, you'll be better about thinking about calculating things in the morning. So don't do mental math at night is sort of the idea. Don't try to make things structurally sound at night. Just go into a fugue state of imagination, because you'll be better at it. Like, the argument is like, that's when you're best at it, so why not do it when you're the best at it? And I don't know if that actually works, but that's my attempt for now. If it sucks, I apologize, but I will attempt again another time, perhaps, if I have a better idea. My brain just kind of does what it does. Yeah, that might be what it is. And I may have diverged in a way that I'm not sure how I'm even doing what I'm doing, and I'm just trying to describe it. But I do think it helps me to check in with senses of safety. If I remember that people love me and care about me and are there for me, that really are, before I go to bed, that seems to help. And then I can get more into like not daydream. I can go into dream mode. I can sort of do the we don't need that right now brain thing when it's like, hey, remember? Oh no, but I don't really get to. Yeah, interesting. I don't know. I might have some inclinations, but I really don't know. Okay. This is gonna be weird. Wait, is that the wrong one? I did that in the wrong area. God damn it. Okay. All right, well, whoops. 0. I keep doing this wrong. 1. So confusing. 1, 2. Okay, we're just gonna say that. It does sound like a good idea though. Like, do some gratitude check-ins to remind myself I feel good before bed. Yeah. Especially if the last things that you're thinking about are relationships that are gone forever. I mean, are you if I can just like clarify, are you typically thinking about people that are not in your life currently? That you things is that like a is that or like what percentage of the time is that actually happening? Okay, no. Okay, never mind. That example was more of a yeah, separate phenomenon, event. What? There's a term for this. Huh? Incident. These are not people I think about during the day. Oh, but I mean at night. At night, do you think about those people only at night? That's what I'm trying to ask. Is like during this nighttime thing, is that coming up at that point exclusively? And if so, what percentage of that nighttime period is it about people that are not like last night I got my yeah, and that's gonna be right. 20%. Okay, yeah, I would say those are probably ones, those sorts of thoughts you could probably eliminate completely as an interesting goal to think about or consider as possible, because I don't think, let me think about this. I don't, So reliving that, you are such a different person because your brain wasn't even remotely cooked in 10th grade. The zeitgeist of it is going to be more important than the details. And if you've imposed that zeitgeist onto other things, that would be more useful to be like, okay, there's a general vibe here. What have I been then telling myself, this is also similar to it. This is also similar to it. Like maybe scan from that point up into the present or from the present back or whatever, and fill in the blanks of being like, oh, I've created a concept out of this experience, and maybe I can now ask some questions about that concept and remodel the concept. Like maybe that's your brain trying to get you to look at the concept, because there's no way no offense to 10th grade us, but there's no way the concepts that we made about relationships in 10th grade are accurate, like, or terribly useful. Like, no, even if we had a good start, a running start, we still would have to fix like 95% of it, right? To be like, no, well, interesting, okay, that one, no, yeah, no, that was not bad. Now, I don't have a better explanation than this. I wish I did. I feel like this is where I drop off and don't know what to say. But that part seemed strong. Oh, great. Excellent. You're welcome. You know what? I trust you to do what you need to do with it. I gave you the nugget that felt solid. You got a lot of solid stuff in your brain. Go nuts. You got this. You'll fix the crap that I put in there. You got it. You're working on that sort of skill all the time. You'll learn something from that skill being refined. So yeah, trust, great. We love trust. Let's read about 5 keys of learning. Mr. Rogers. I love where is it? Or is it 6? I thought it was 5. Six basic necessities of learning. Yay, coffee. A sense of self-worth, a sense of trust, curiosity, the capacity to look and listen carefully, the capacity to play, and times of solitude. Let's read quotes. A sense of self-worth. As human beings, our job in life is to help people realize how rare and valuable each one of us really is. That each of us has something that no one else has or ever will have. Something inside that is unique to all time. A sense of trust. Anything that's human is mentionable, and anything that is mentionable can be more manageable. When we can talk about our feelings, they become less overwhelming, less upsetting, and less scary. The people we trust with that important talk can help us know that we're not alone. I want to say that. Fred believed that a children's sense of trust came from having caring and supportive adults around them. That it's the adults being there that matters most. During these times when everything may seem uncertain and ever-changing, we can easily get swept up in trying to make every moment perfect or normal. It is important to remember that even brief, high-quality, loving moments with children help to build their sense of trust in you and in themselves. You are helping your children to trust that even in the uncertainty, there will be adults in the world who are helping, who are supporting, and who are ready to listen. Talking with children about your own feelings can continue to build their sense of trust in you and in other helpers. In the end, children may not remember every activity and moment of every day, but they will remember that you did what you could with what you had to be there for them. That made these times special and safe just by being there. Interesting. I like that a lot. I think it could be applied differently. This is from the Fred Rogers Center, though, so of course they were very, careful of how they said it. Curiosity. I'm just going to read quotes for the rest of them. Did you know that it's all right to wonder? Did you know that it's all right to wonder? There are all kinds of wonderful things. And the capacity to play. Play is often talked about as if it were a relief from serious learning. But for children, play is serious learning. At various times, play is a way to cope with life and to prepare for adulthood. Playing is a way to solve problems and to express feelings. In fact, play is the real work of childhood. So good. The capacity to look and listen carefully. How many times have you noticed it's the little quiet moments in the midst of life that seem to give the rest extra special meaning? And then times of solitude. Here's a gift you may not have expected. It's a gift for you to give yourself. Sometime in your day today, try to turn off all the noises you can around you and give yourself some quiet time. In the silence, let yourself think about something, or if possible, think about nothing. And here's a link of the Fred Rogers Center summary and their explanations. Okay. All right. I'm almost done with this timesheet thingy. Wait, what? Okay, I guess that's me. I wonder if the things that my brain implies are just a different qualia of information. Because if people are oriented around social information, and I can't be, or some what we'll call social information, the subtext is social. For me, the subtext is rational. Like, it's like, this is how the system works. Do I need to? It seems inefficient to constantly describe the model. Although I honestly would enjoy it, but I think it like annoys the shit out of people. Is there a way I can do that? This is true enough that it's significant when trying to explain our lived experiences to others. Right. And I mean, I think I could work on this notion better than what I've just described it as, but like, sounds sounds accurate enough. Yeah, it's very unsuccessful. And then like I guess what I feel is super unsuccessful is I'm trying to find a workaround. I am to like make this feel successful for both parties at the very least, where we're like just not walking away from it being like that didn't work. Some sense of like, you know, accomplishment of understanding or whatever. But I don't walk away with that very often. I'm like, are we just talking about different things, and they think I'm talking about what they're talking about, and I have a little bit more awareness that that's not happening, but I also don't know how to tell them what I'm actually talking about because they think I'm talking about what they think I'm talking about. I'm like, well, okay, cooly boolies, but how do I get you where I am in terms of understanding this interaction? Even if I propose it and they say, okay, I see how you think this interaction is, and then they offer a disagreement, I still want to get to at least that point, but I'm probably still going to be like, I think I'm right. But I mean, I don't know. Or I don't know. I don't get there enough to like get feedback in that way. Although maybe I'm not trying hard enough, or maybe I'm not I don't know. No, I'm a little unsure what I'm doing. I have to think about this more. It's not modeled very well. And as I mentioned yesterday, I have only ever felt more ostracized than I did prior. That really stood out to me again when I was reviewing that convo to like get more context absorbed. I've only ever felt more ostracized than I did prior when I explained my accommodation needs. Right. So I am definitely not explaining my experience in a way that is easy to interface with. Yeah, me neither. I also don't feel successful at that. And I'm not sure where I'm going wrong. Same, which is the problem. Like, I don't know how to probe and figure out what is being lost in translation. Right. I want to figure that out. I want to know, like what is realistic for that? Because just, like, ignoring it doesn't work. It will never, like, we create so many problems by trying to, you know, even when people say, it's fine, I'm like, I wish it was, but you can't just like magic spell it into being fine. This is a real, I mean, conflict is what I was gonna say, but like there's things that aren't, you know, gelling, functioning. This is not functioning. I want my life to make more sense to other people, and I can't rely on them to bridge the gap. So I need to do it, and I don't know how. Right? Exactly. And it's like, okay, in many ways, I don't feel resentful about that because we are not most people. So a very small percentage of people have brains that are wired like this, are developmentally in this configuration, okay? But we have enough overlap, and we've met many other people now with that overlap, right? So, okay, totally cool that, like, of course we're going to have to figure it out ourselves. Right. They can't. Why should they? Why, like, we are not who they have to deal with most of the time. It doesn't even, in terms of energy, it makes no sense for them to invest a tremendous amount of energy to try to figure this out because they have to be working with non-autistic people most of the time. So it's better for them, even just in the pure, like, formulaic way of looking at it, right? Metabolically, in terms of like reaching their goals, they need to work with people who they're mostly going to run into, right? Not us. So it's not their job, even though I think the current model is like, oh, we have more power, you know, we basically are holding more of the reins of society, therefore it's our responsibility to make the society inclusive. I'm like, but you don't know how. I believe that you want to do that. I think you are a good person. However, like, if you're not going to commit yourself to that, this can't be an afterthought. Just focus on the majority of people that you're actually going to interact with. If that changes and you're interacting with us a majority of the time, that's pretty amazing. and you're okay, then we can work with you. Then you are the right person for that, right? But everybody else, no. Everybody else is like, I'll give you a vague sense of this, and we'll try to give you guys like the bare necessities that will almost always apply, so you can apply them in the odd cases where you have to meet one of us. And then the rest of the time you can do what you normally do, and if the bare necessities help you with that, great. Okay, we gotta stop stream because we got a meeting. All right. So I don't know, and I can phrase that better, and I will phrase that better because it's essential that we get this right. It's essential that we explain this correctly, right? And nothing extra, that so that they don't have to have this huge mental investment that isn't going to pay off for them because they're not going to run into that many of us. But just like, I want them to be like, here, this is the part you super will benefit from knowing. These are some nice to haves. If you'd like, I trust you to figure out if these are going to apply to you. Phrase it better also in song form, please. I will. It'll still be a song. Because that's what Mr. Rogers did. You know what I'm saying? All right. Okay. Enough of the streaming. I stop now. Boop.